All right. We're here with Reidane. Kind of an older card from, what is that, Kaldheim. 3-mana 2/3, Flying Vigilance. It is a god. Snow lands enter tapped for your opponent, which doesn't come up that often, but it can. And then non-creature spells that are 4 or more cost 2 more, which is kind of like a super Thalia, but it's only for bigger spells. Then you can cast it as an artifact side, and if a source an opponent controls will deal damage to you, prevent one of it. So like Grape Shot essentially wouldn't work, stuff like that. 1/1s can't deal damage to you and stuff. If anything you control becomes targeted, it gets a mana tithed, so they have to pay 1 every time they do that. Or in other words, basically like Thalia style effect. So I'm doing like mono white, endless removal, and then maybe my opponent scoops, and by endless removal I mean like every removal spell ever. A lot of disenchant effects as well, because it's pretty nice to, harass early ramp and stuff like that. Some spot removal. I do like stuff like Swift Response. This is kind of just fine, right? It can even kill a mana dork so it can't tap multiple times and stuff. There's no size limit. This isn't like dealing just 4 or something. I actually do like this and stuff like this. So yeah, all the sweepers, all that jazz. Then we got the big stuff at the top, right? Maybe if all the sweepers and stuff doesn't make your opponent concede, maybe approach the second sun will. I don't think it will, but who knows? I am running Key to the Archive for multiple chances at it. Overwhelming Splendor with Idyllic Tutor, obviously pretty nice as well. A bunch of random utility lands. Nykthos probably completely useless, but you know what? I'm still going to put it in here. It's a monocolored deck. This feels free enough. There's really not that many ways to get a lot of devotion, though, to be honest with you. I don't expect us to kill anybody with this beating them down. It doesn't seem realistic, but both sides are useful in certain matchups, right? Reidane as a 2/3 does kind of stonewall stuff like Malcolm comes to mind. Stuff like that just doesn't really get to swing into you. That's pretty cool. And I think even another thing about Malcolm is the tax counts towards their free spells. So if they were planning on casting something for free, they still have to at least spend 2 on it. Not really that relevant, but something that might happen. Yeah, that's it. Removal, mono white nonsense, and we'll see how often what side comes up the most on this. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's roll. Oh, right, Rest in Peace is in here, too, if that ends up mattering. Speaking of Rest in Peace, Gitrog Monster does not like to see Rest in Peace. This is actually quite a good hand for Gitrog Monster, kind of. We'll see. A front-back counter? Oh, you might be right. Front-back counter. I like it. Alright, I'm just not gonna... If I can maybe surprise them with Rest in Peace, it's not really that big of a deal. Just cast it anyways. This looks like we're going to cast it the front to begin with, and then maybe the back later. Okay, so they just passed, which makes me want to just kind of cast this on this side. I'm going to cast it on this side. We're going to get weird. I'm not going to do nothing this turn. I'm just going to do this. Opponent has something here. Maybe it's Assassin's Trophy? I don't actually know. Cycle? I have no idea. What is black and green? And there's no... Abrupt Decay is not in the game, right? Don't know what that is. It's been a while since I've played against Gitrog. Alright, so Rampy Wampy. From anywhere. Yep, so this should shut that down. It is kind of... I don't know what that spell was, but it wasn't a spot removal spell, which makes me nervous. Alright, we're just going to cast this, probably leave up mana for Commando. I don't want to send 2 damage for no reason. They moused over Rest in Peace. I don't like it. Are they considering their outs? Abrupt Decay is in the game? Okay, unfortunate. Alright, so they play it anyways. Love to see it. I guess I run this out? I don't really ever see myself as not just casting this here. Even though it's not really blocking or attacking or anything. Mana Tithe. Well, I don't think I would have Mana Tithe the Gitrog monster anyways, but... Yep, alright, so it does not in fact trigger. They had no instant speed answer in response to their own trigger. Sylvan Scrying. Okay, so this can go get Blast Zone? Alright, Besage you. Alright, well, opponent found it. I cannot do anything about this, to the extent of my knowledge. Alright, yep. Of course. When can I do this? 3 or more artifacts? Well, if they swing a Gitrog monster, I guess I can kill it. Doesn't really get me anywhere. Like, at all, but whatever. Sure. Kind of surprised to see that. Alright, so I can kill it. Slow them down a fair amount, and then maybe this Splendor is just another seriously annoying thing they have to deal with. Didn't find anything. Can I find anything here? Alright, so we can deal with this Gitrog monster for quite a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, no land. No land. Hey! No. Oh wait, no! No! It cost more. I thought I could Mana-Tithe it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't expect Mana-Tithe to be particularly useful. I'm not going to lie. I suppose I immediately fare well, because I'd rather them not get a trigger. So let's exile creatures in graveyards. Might as well just send it while I can. Might as well. I'm just trying to avoid them getting, like, triggers off Gitrog. And they seem to have a lot of lands, so this probably is working out. We have another land? It looks like they do maybe have another land. Staff of Completion. Okay, 1, 2, 3, you. And now I have 3 artifacts for my Inventor's Fair, but I do lose the Inventor's Fair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means I lose my mana. So maybe that doesn't make sense. Guess I'm just going to draw now. Okay, I found a land to replace said Inventor's Fair. Can I do this whenever I want? Yes. Alright, so I can do it on my opponent's turn. Suppose I'll do that then. But yeah, I was trying to avoid these triggers. Besage's out of the game. It's also just completely exiled. Okay, that could be way worse. It could have been worse here. It's not too bad to see, to be honest. Doesn't really do much. Emergent Sequence. Sure. They still have Castle Lockbane, though. It's kind of annoying. I think I'm just going to take 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, I can do this. I don't really even have to do this right now, because I'm probably not going to play what I'm going to get right now. I could just Portal to Phyrexia. I could just send it. Why not? Or at least put it to my hand. It's probably one of my better cards. Yeah, I don't know. Why not? Alright. Funny enough, the Forest can be played out of the graveyard again because of the Crucible Worlds. That's kind of goofy. I would like Portal to get hit by a potential answer that they could have in hand before I play the Overwhelming Splendor. Casualties of War is an issue that I don't want to deal with. They notably don't have a fetch land, which seems quite nice for me. Alright, well, let's shut that stuff right down, and then let's pass. Alright, so we have our opponent under a very annoying thing. But I do have to find a way to kill them now. I can't get my own Reidane to poke them over and over. Although, again, I don't expect that to actually win any game. It doesn't do anything, it's just a 1-1. I'll probably draw off my staff. It is kind of scary to do that, but I don't think I have a choice here. Underrealm Lich. Okay, sure. Opponent had all the spice, just a little too late. But I could still... Oh yeah, I can. You're right. I can sack it with staff. Hey, I guess I found a win condition. Never. I don't have to sack it. Look at that. All right, so I'm gonna take out relevant things, being this, and I guess. All right, opponent's done. I don't really want to deal with any of the creatures when Ulamog's in play, but yeah, this would have been the first game ever that I would have sacked my own permanent to the staff. I've never done that before. That's really funny. I don't even know, honestly, if I would have, because with this in play, their 1/1s can't deal damage to me. All their creatures are 1/1s, right? So I think it's better to keep this as just what it is right now. I could be wrong, but who knows? Maybe I would wind up doing it later. It is, what, 10 turns to kill them with it, but we just didn't need it. Look at that. Won our first game. Rest in Peace was, I guess, fairly important. They did have to Sylvan Scrying it, so can't be too upset with that. What does this do? Alright, so it discounts very big spells, sort of. I guess I keep this. It's all wizards, which plays nicely into a lot of my cards. I guess I should run Snowlands just for this card specifically, but I don't know. I'm kind of like burnt out of playing Snowlands. In fact, I'm incredibly burnt out of playing Snowlands. Okay, I'm going to put this here. This could be very annoying. They just can't activate their commander's ability now for however long. You only put the staff in decks if you plan on using it like that? I wouldn't do that. But I mean, why not, right? Why not? It's not like the worst idea. It really isn't the worst idea. Okay, Inventor's Fair makes kind of sort of sense. Gideon probably doesn't. A lot of these options I'm not excited about. I could just get Ulamog and make my opponent upset. I'm going to get Palantir, I think. It's just like a pseudo way to draw and stuff. I don't know. Okay, apparently my opponent has no wizards. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they just want to leave up counter spells? Okay, well, if that's the case, I will gladly let you counter this. I do not care. Thank you. That seems hardly relevant. I kind of like Rest in Peace, but no matter what, my opponent's going to mill it. Let's put Rest in Peace on the bottom. See if they just take the damage. I'm sure they will. They do. They take 7. It is a bad mana rock, you're right. But I do like the proliferate and the card draw on it. I think that is pretty nice. Especially in mono white. Maybe I wanted to just keep the Rest in Peace under the first spell there, but I don't know. I don't know how relevant my opponent's graveyard is to them. I guess this is a time to just play out Wandering Emperor. Wandering Emperor is notably not very good right now. Wow, let me draw already. Okay. Have I used this? I have not. Yeah, kind of wishing I had that Rest in Peace. Maybe I'll just randomly get it. Nope, approach isn't bad. It's not great though, but it's not bad. I am giving my opponent a lot of time. I kind of want to blow this up, but I also really do not care what it's doing. I just don't care. Alright, they found a wizard. Which triggers shaman and wizard abilities. You got it. Alright, we got wizards now. Let's see what happens when I try to do this. Okay, they could have just sent it. They did not have to just let that happen. That's interesting. Sure, okay. I'll take that. I don't really care about this amulet. So they can use the amulet to kill their own commander, I guess, sort of, kind of. Let's, I don't know. I mean, I guess I would leave up Counterspell if I were them as well. I really don't care if this dies again. I just feel like that doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I'm just gonna send it. I don't really care. With the amulet in play, I can't even necessarily play it as a creature, because they can just pretty easily kill it. With Palantir and this, they can actually mill it over, but they'd have to mill so many cards it would obviously just straight kill them. River's Rebuke would be annoying here. So would, I guess, Cyclonic Rift? Does that make wizards? Oh, it does. That's adorable. Alright, opponent's finding more wizards, but again, this isn't killing me, so I don't really care. Nope, just send it. Alright, my opponent just conceded, I guess. They didn't block. Maybe they thought they forgot about double strike, or I don't know. But yeah, I guess shutting down my opponent's commander was just such a massive deal. But it's strange, because they could have killed it with this, right? Right. And it would have been even better, too, like, if they didn't start on... They were on the play with the thing there, and I actually still somehow did stuff against it. It's just obviously not enough. Very difficult to beat. Very, very, very difficult. Probably impossible for Reidane specifically. Mono white might not have what it takes, because infinite removal does not actually stop the creature mono green deck, which is funny, but it just doesn't stop it. You cannot stop it. It will always just do the land thing and then find something stupid to kill you with. So this is another game where I think I don't want this as a creature. Probably the most common thing. Probably going to happen a lot. Just because I'm going to wind up having to kill a lot of dinosaurs. Oh, Beseiju it, please. Beseiju. Do it. Beseiju, my commander, I need you. I need you to do it. Okay, well, that's not Beseiju. That's also not Beseiju. Own it. What are you doing? What are you doing over there? Nothing. So I can shut down their commander, and then maybe kill everything around it. Maybe there's logic in that. I don't know. I can't really let their commander just go crazy, because then I lose to the infinite value. Okay, I don't know why they didn't cast this spell. I'm very confused. Whenever opponent permanent target spells, opponent would deal... Neither thing on my artifact would have denied this. And I'm pretty sure they could have cast it, right? I don't know why they didn't. Did they misclick? It looks like it stun locked them. I highly doubt they misclicked. I highly doubt they misclicked. Okay, I don't actually have a solid answer for this. I guess I'm just doing this on it. You wish they would mass land destruction? I don't think that's the answer. I don't think blowing up all the lands would make the game better. That would just be another thing that people use to win games, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. Yeah, I wouldn't like that. Usually when mass land destruction comes out... Okay, that's unfortunately not what I wanted. When it comes out, it's not the best of outcomes. I guess I'm doing it again. My opponent let me do this again. Fine. Yep, whatever. Alright, so I don't have much of a sweeper here. Destroy Evil doesn't do anything. Okay, I found a sweeper. I guess I have to cast it. I mean, I literally have to cast it. Atali will literally kill me. That animation scared me, not gonna lie. Their own fateful absence. How adorable. Okay, so I can do this for 5. I guess I just will. This downside to land decks. There's like that blue card that like if they play more than one land, they have to bounce lands from then on, so you can only play one land a turn. There's other ways to deal with it. It's also not like super lands matter, because it still is just like a ramp deck that plays big green spells. It's not exploiting the lands in any way like a Merit Lodge or something like that. I don't really mind it. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think the destroying lands is how you deal with it. You can run like Pithing Needle and stuff. There's plenty of ways to stop land strategies. Pock is just a very fast, probably better Golos. And Golos is not a land strategy, you know. Okay, so I'm going to probably kill this blocker. This doesn't seem realistic. This doesn't seem realistic to win the game. Maybe I just don't. Maybe I just let him take one. I really don't think exhausting resources on a Drover the Mighty is where I want to be. I also would really like my opponent to send the removal at anything that is not one of these 1/1s, so that maybe they get surprise poisoned. And I also get a clue token this way. Infinite Landfall? No, they can only play one spell a turn. It doesn't... Or, I mean, yeah, I guess, but at that point you could play, like, Simic Growth Chamber and stuff. There's a lot of ways to... Infinite Landfall's not really a... I don't think there's really any landfall except the Proliferate, and then the one that makes treasures, I guess. But unless they can play multiple lands a turn with, like, an Azusa, that doesn't affect Pock anyways. Okay. This is interesting. Oh no, it's another way to blow up one of these. Great. Let's see what happens when I try to get this blocker out of the way. Probably should have done this last turn. Kind of regret not doing it, but oh well. Let's see if I can hit him for 4. It's a lot scarier than 3. Restoration Angel. Really? No? Okay. This is a lot of non-dinosaur stuff going on. Interesting. Sure. So I go get my big scary Splendor now. And I guess I still swing. I lose one, but I trade with the other. Alright, well they've basically answered my stuff here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can actually blow up the Mana Rock with this instead of a Might if they choose, which would be worse for me, I think. But who knows? What else does this do? Nothing really. Okay, last march for 4 or 3, 4. Alright. Craterhoof. Scary, but doesn't immediately kill me. Kind of surprised they just windmill slammed it. They could have waited, maybe. It also means they have an attacker. It's kind of, I don't know. Alright, they're threatened by the mites. Like to see that. We take 14. Assuming they attack, which I don't know why they wouldn't. They Spike Fuel Hazard the other. They really don't want to die to Infect. Alright, so Staff of Completion can proliferate, and I think that's it. Karn's Bastion, I suppose, as well. If this Splendor gets blown up, then nothing I said matters at all. So we just have to hope they don't have Beseiju. That doesn't do anything. It's a good sign. There it is again. Of course. Why not? Can't avoid the Great Henge, I guess. God forbid. Let's crack this clue. I need stuff. This is a 9-mana card? Oh my goodness. I mean, alright, fine. If I have to do it, I will. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, jeez. 5. Yeah, alright. It's 9, alright, so 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's 10. Alright. Oh, that is so ridiculous, but I mean, I mean, what am I gonna do? Alright, so this has an artifact, again, shuts down the 1/1s. So maybe in conjunction we can stop ourselves from dying here. But this doesn't feel too good. Opponent has some kind of spell. I hope it's like a... I don't even know. I am quite vulnerable right now, not gonna lie. At least till next turn when I can maybe leave this up. Oh boy. This is ridiculous. What have we done? Where have we placed ourselves? What is this? What is going on? Yep, we don't take any damage. Approach the second sun? Okay. Sure. Yo. You love it? Love to see it? Okay. Oh, jeez. I really wish I didn't draw that. Oh, no. Now I'm anxious. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, stop mousing over things. You're literally not... Alright, no text. Zero text. Zero text card. Love it. We take 0. Okay, Palantir. So, we gotta maybe not cast this because... Oh, jeez. No, no, no. We still have to cast this. I cannot just rely on the card in question. That doesn't make sense. So let's do this. Yep, they'll take 6. I can actually kill them if they're, like, not careful. Yep, they take 6. If they ever go to mill this in something else, we can kill them with a lot of out-of-nowhere damage. So they have to be incredibly careful how they go about this. So the next one is mill 2. We do this. This is 11? Oh, no, I messed up, huh? They go to 1. They go to 1 here, yeah. Okay, I messed it up. I messed it up. I could have... I messed that up. I messed it up. It's not too bad. We're still in an excellent spot, though. I think we're still pulling ahead here. But I did just jack that up for sure. Don't want either of those. I'm always drawing now, because obviously they'll not die. Yeah, I got too excited. I got too excited. I needed the fragment ties to be on top. Okay, no text. Doesn't do anything. Swinging doesn't do anything. Yep. Okay, yep, we're just pooling resources. We are pooling resources. Both of those are useless. But we do need a way to actually kill our opponent. Oh, there it is. Found it. No text. Nice. Alright, so this trigger just kills them. Awesome. Or that. Or the extort. The extort kills them too. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, our opponents sending cards thinking they work. Them sending it makes me think they may have almost no answers to this, right? Other than maybe Beseiju or something. I don't know. But there's no reason to cast it if you don't have to, in my opinion. But nice. We actually got there. I jacked up the Approach the Second Sun, and I still got there. Can we just count that as an approach win? Because if I kept it in the right order... Okay, wait. If we kept it in the right order, they let me draw, because they have to. Otherwise, I would mill 2 cards, and it would be on top, and I would draw it for turn. So they would have to let me draw the card on top. And then, after that, I draw the next card, either Fragmentize or the 4-mana card, Wrath. And then Approach would be on top. And then it would mill. It would mill itself, and I believe there were lands under it. It was a Cavern of Souls and something. So there actually was no way to draw it. They would have to blind mill it with that and 2 other cards and just wing it that they didn't die. But there was actually no way to actually cast it. Okay, so I feel less bad. I feel less bad about it. Okay, so I took out some dead cards, some jank that didn't feel too worthwhile. Added stuff that could maybe draw cards, and this is kind of on theme. I like this card. It's goofy. If it can fit somewhere, I think this might be the place for it. So I'm running stuff like this, and hopefully I smooth it out a bit. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Well, if we could somehow completely ignore our opponent, we can maybe win. At the beginning of combat, 1 artifact or land becomes a 3/3 vigilance and double team. All right. Oh jeez. All right. I'm keeping it. I don't care. Fight me. Please play the land. Thank you. It has been a long time since I've played against this. It's been quite a while. Double team is goes to your hand. Yeah, it goes to your hand. Alright, so we shut down that with Cursey Worsey. Tangelurkderburkderburper. It came out in the same set as Pock. Yeah, how unfortunate. Tragedy. Disenchant relevant? Oh my goodness. Relevant disenchant. Almost didn't see it. It does mean I'm not playing anything else, though, right? Yep. I'm always disenchanting this. Also, maybe they trap themselves with a card they can't cast, which is hilarious. Max Punish? We actually did it? We did the thing? Okay. I'm going to play these 2 instead of my Elixir. I think that makes slightly more sense. Maybe it doesn't. I don't really know if I'm ever respecting counterspells. Maybe I should just play this. Like, if they do have a counterspell, maybe it's just totally fine. Like, maybe I just don't care. I could just play these next turn. It's a counterspell, not either way, right? Okay, fine. Yeah. They actually had a counterspell. Unfortunate. Oh, well, they had a pseudo one. The old tithy-withy. Oh, missing lands? Alright, do you have another counterspell? You do, alright. More counterspells than I would have anticipated. Alright, no land again. Let's play you. I'm going to capitalize on my opponent's slowness and just start amassing cards if I can. Guess I'll just play this. It means I'm not getting my Seek land, but that's fine. Alright. Double team infinite counterspells? Wait, really? Oh. Okay, opponent found their land. Do we scry into another one? We do. Alright, so opponent's game plan is back on, or whatever you consider it. Hey, we found the Seek land anyways. Look at that. Alright. Sure. I imagine they will mill it regardless. Opponent's running to Fairy, and I just milled over my one answer to it, because of course I did. Why wouldn't I? Doesn't do anything. Well, we probably lost this game. Because I don't have an answer to Teferi. Whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I take Ulamog and try to answer it with Ulamog. It just seems profoundly unlikely. Artifact, enchantment. Alright. Both of these are completely useless. Five, 6, 7, 8. Yep. I probably lost. Untap with Teferi. Opponent missed 7 land drops in a row, too. And it wouldn't matter. Why would it? 5, 6, 7, 8. My next land drop does not let me cast Ulamog, so... Well, at least I'm not going to get Cyclonic Rifted. For what it's worth. How much you want to guess? They have a Heroic Intervention, or Tail's End, or one of the 40 other things that just cleanly deals with this. Alright, that's a second attempt at Teferi's life, but I can't do them both in the same turn, unfortunately. Oh, I guess I can. Alright, well, we answered Teferi. It pulled them right back into the game, but, I mean, I guess I can still continue because I answered Teferi, which was very important. That basically had to happen. Okay, I don't know how good Mana Tithe is, but I guess I'll keep it on top anyways. I'm not too upset with that. So I can play Approach, which will concern my opponent as this game proceeds. Worn Power Stone. I don't think that's better than activating my Seek lands. Why is my phone going off? Okay, so Milieu. I don't really know if Blessed Alliance is that great right now. But it's probably... I mean, I can maybe sacrifice an attacker or something. Alright. Well, I don't know why they didn't do this last turn. Maybe I don't understand how it works or something. Let us try to do this. Gain 4. It's not even, like, they could just let this resolve. It doesn't really matter that much, probably. Oh, Okay, they're gonna Beseiju my Palantir. Sure. And I will not search because I don't want to lose my thing. It's pretty apparent that my my approach will not resolve, but it's still decent, I guess. Maybe I can just run this out. I don't know. It's not a bad draw, I guess. Isn't really the greatest, but it's not terrible. 8 mana Vindicate. Leave up our Mana Tithe. Ooh. Oh. No. Okay, Mana Tithe wound up being very useful. Sure. Overwhelming Splendor. Alright, so 2 must-counter threats in a row is actually quite nice for me. Alright, so I think they only have 1 counterspell, otherwise they would probably counter that. So they don't just, like, straight lose the game. Cyclonic Rift is out of the way, there's still River's Rebuke, and I guess other scary things like Hour of Revelation is in my opponent's deck. It's not a good sign. Putting them to 1 doesn't make sense, does it? What's under this first? Okay, so I don't have a way to deal that much damage to them. Let's fire this up first. That way I can maybe avoid some modal counterspell. Oh, okay. I didn't anticipate that one. But it did get me here. It did get me. I did draw with my thing first. Silex. Alright, that enters untapped. Destroy all other permanents. Wait. Wait, no, that worked, opponent. Exile as a sorcery. When this, pay 2. Okay, maybe that actually isn't that good here. Blowing up their own lands would not really be that great. Destroy all other permanents. I mean, it's kind of nice, right? It does go to 6. This does cost 7. It does require me to draw a land, but... Oh. I see. I see. Yeah, well, yeah, but I don't have... The logic is I have 6... Like, they can keep playing until I find a land. They don't know I don't have the 7th land to cast it again. Because this puts you to 6. But this is indestructible. And this is my 7th mana source. Very strange game. This is a Teferi, like, ticking away. This is actually the, if you played the beta, you got this Teferi. I think I played the beta, but I didn't get the Teferi. I didn't, like, get the code or something. But I've been playing since the start. I don't have this, unfortunate. But, yeah, that's why they couldn't do it. Because we had the 7th one here. Very crazy game. Yeah, look at that. Alright. They just couldn't answer the approach. We actually got an approach one. Wow. Yeah, they couldn't stand being a Johnny. Who knows? Okay, well, we know what our opponent just drew. Playing this. I guess I will reprobate Pock, and then maybe it'll be good enough or not. Opponent has a 1 mana spell? What? What's going on? Okay. Oh, wow, they let me draw it. Really? Cool. Okay, I don't know why they didn't play Pock. That's interesting. I guess I'm not too upset with that. Let us play this. Sure. I guess the land is fine. Opponent is letting me draw from the get-go. That's very interesting. Oh no, they denied my counter. Toxic. Or my treasure, rather. Boy, I just can't wait to play against this. I guess I'm reprobating this. I don't know where that's getting me, but maybe I just have to. Pocket's just so stupid. This is just unbelievably stupid. My opponent paid for the Smothering Tithe as well in this turn. Defiler of Vigor. That's neat. Okay. I guess we're doing this. I was hoping to cast Farewell, but nope. Oh, and it's another game where they have Lair of the Hydra, of course. I don't think Rest in Peace is terribly useful. Maybe the other one sort of is. Oh, they decided to start milling. Interesting. Well, if you're going to start milling, you obviously want to do it to start. You don't want it to do it to end. That's peculiar. Oh, of course. Land right off the top. Can't even give me that. Okay, so I do this. I cast Idyllic Tutor for my thing. That doesn't necessarily stop all of their stuff, but can maybe do something at some point. I will actually take the Wrath of God if my opponent lets me. Alright, I feel like they're just randomly doing this, the Palantir. It's just like either they do or they don't. I don't know why. Don't know the logic. They are really paying for the Smothering Tithe, though. That's nice. I don't hate that. They should have shuffled the Terramorphic before, because if they have a land on top, now they can't cast it. Alright, so if they have Heroic Intervention, I am in a pickle, sort of, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. Alright, well, they don't. Key to the Archive can be decent. I don't know if Fateful Absence is useful. I guess I'll put them both on top anyways. Why not? Oh, my opponent just took 13. Wow. Well, they can't mill again. They'll just die, so... Yeah, maybe random is optimal. You're not wrong. Maybe random actually is just straight up optimal. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Spelunking. Opponent Splunkin. Alright. Splunky Wonky. That always gets a land, right? Yeah. Sure. Oh, they ramped and then they unramped. Love it. Okay, so we're not immediately dead unless they have an answer and a massive, ridiculous ramp spell at the same time. Let's hope that is not the case. Alright, opponent committed Sudoku. Look at that. They committed Sudoku. Yeah, they were doing it randomly, and then I guess they were just hoping I wasn't going to hit anything. But at this point, obviously, you can't do that. They almost actually did live, which is hilarious. But they didn't, so we win. I actually beat Pac. Look at that. Sweepers and whatnot. Yeah, if they don't have a massive land payoff in this same turn that they essentially have Pac, we're not in a terrible spot. But they usually do, right? Like that turn where they paid for Smothering Tithe and still had 10 or 12 mana to play with. And, like, casting Pac is absolutely ridiculous. But, fortunately, it just didn't matter. Because in the end, they never had one of those large, you know, draw 17 card spells the same turn this had resolved. In which I wouldn't be able to respond or anything like that in between both spells back to back. So, real nice. Okay, so I actually like this strategy. I like it quite a bit. If you can find ways to draw, paint my dolls. If you can find ways to draw, it's actually not bad. Like the main issue is you're white, so you have to like restrict yourself to things is like mostly just your opening hand and then a couple cards off the top of your deck. But if you get into a draw go with somebody, you're not in a bad spot. And if you can just, you know, sort of treasure map, Bank Buster, this kind of draws a card, One Ring, Cosmos Elixir, you know, all of that kind of stuff. If you have it, this thing, if you have it kind of just ticking away slowly, you can just keep up or outpace your opponent, and then you can pull ahead. It doesn't like you don't necessarily need to kill your opponent with damage, right? A lot of games kind of end when you just out resource somebody, unless obviously you just Crater Hoof or Voja, which is basically Crater Hoof, and kill your opponent real quick. The value can just win the game. So that was cool. This is definitely a very slow strategy, so I do like the slower lands. I don't necessarily hate them. Even Blast Zone, incredibly slow, but and actually symmetrical, kind of dangerous. But I don't hate it. You can also play the... I didn't have it in here. It's what's his face is not Karn. It's yeah, Urza. You could play Urza's Silex. I don't own it. I could have crafted it. I think this is all right. But obviously blowing up your own permanents when you have a lot of rocks and stuff could be not great. Same with the white Hour. Hour of Revelation. It's like pretty cool if you do this, right? Yay, blow up all your stuff. But you do blow up your own mana rocks and your own commander if it's sitting in play. You blow up some of your planeswalkers. Portal to Phyrexia if that's taken away. Any of your card draw engines. So I don't really like them. I don't like them that much. A lot of non-creature things that you're blowing up. You still have Farewell in here, right? You have Disenchant, which did actually come up. Disenchanting things is relevant. Cathar Commando's the other disenchant. Like, I think this is just a little bit better. Yeah, more indestructible stuff is probably true, because just Ulamog doesn't really, or I mean, I guess you have Skyclave Relic, you could have like kicked it or something. I just don't think that, I don't think that's great. Obviously, running auras that shut things down isn't great if you're just going to sweep the board anyways. You don't want to exhaust resources on things and kill them essentially twice. But it is still nice to reprobation something like Pock. It might not win you the game because they can still just play mono green dumb stuff. But some cards are shut down and it slows them down a bit, and maybe that's worth it. But again, if you have to cast a sweeper the next turn anyways, I don't see this as terribly helpful. I do like, even with the sweepers, Overwhelming Splendor, because the backside of this, everything, you reduce everything by 1, so if they're all 1/1s, you don't take any damage, so you can kind of ignore that stuff sitting in play. And you could just rely on this as your spot removal spell, quote unquote, and then just replace all that other kind of stuff with something else. I don't know what you would, but for the options we have here, I think I do still like this, and, you know, ossification and the like. So I do like that. Mana Tithe is surprisingly relevant no matter what turn it is. I've come to notice and realize that this is pretty good on even turn 9 and 10 and stuff, especially if your opponent's commander has died 6 times. You can actually tithe it again. It's pretty cool. I like that. Reprieving a commander to your opponent's hand the first time it's cast is also still somewhat relevant. It sort of negates their mana dork if they used it to cast it, because then they would have the next turn anyways. They would have cast it anyways, right? Because they just play a land for the turn. So it is nice to sort of skip that mana dork kind of ramp, but it's still a mana dork in play and still useful, and that isn't totally how it works, but it's kind of nice to do that early. I don't hate it. And yeah, I like it. It's probably as slow, if not slower, than some blue X control decks, because you don't have like a forward in your face win condition, and you don't just lock your opponent under a army of counterspells. An army of counterspells, you just have to still rely on going back and forth and reacting to things having resolved. So it's probably slower than, say, a Teferi deck, which is interesting. Because, you know, once you got Teferi taken away, they didn't kill it, you untap. It's like, all right, they probably lose. They might just concede. But here, it's like, well, you're playing mono white. You haven't shown me how you're beating me. I'm going to stay in the game. Right? And that's something you have to consider. So, but I did like this. I do like this a lot. I'm not sure if I've played this before. Something's telling me I have. Because I do distinctly remember playing the backside of this a lot, and we did actually play the backside of this a lot. I'll have to go back in my catalog and see in my YouTube videos if I actually have. But it's been so long that I guess it's fine just doing it again. It's been that long. I don't usually do the same commander twice, ever, unless there's like a significant different way to do it. At least streaming it. So, yeah, but I like it, and I actually do recommend it. I like this if you like mono white control, lock down your opponent, removal spam, and then have a big dumb thing to close the game out. We even had an approach the second sun win, right? Like, that can happen, especially with Key. So, yeah. Let me know what you thought about it. Like the video if you like me. Comment if you have something to say. And subscribe if you want more of this. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.